Devin Booker's fucking insane. Like, it's actually one of the best, I think, round performances we've ever seen. Like, you have a guy who played all 5 games, played, I think, 37 minutes per game, if I'm not mistaken, and in total shot 60% from the field and 46% from three, and 85% from the free throw line. That's almost 60, 40, 90. That's like damn near to it. And he averaged 37 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, with almost 3 steals and a whole block. He played all 5 games, and really, I just believe that if he keeps this up, then I don't know how you're gonna stop the Suns. Like, then you have KD, which is always gonna like perform, and he dropped 28, 7, and 6. I'm putting rebounds and then assists, by the way. So 7 rebounds, 6 assists, with a steal and a block on 50, 45, 95. And that was playing 43 minutes a game, but imagine when they go up against Denver, or when they go up against a team who can't put their bench in the game for such a long time. They're going to be able to abuse them, because the Clippers have such a deep bench that they could sub anyone in, sub anyone out, and it would still be as effective. But with a team like Denver, I think that they're going to have issues with the Suns, because that's the second round. Because imagine just you're running the pick and roll with Ayton and Chris Paul. You put Booker and KD on each wing, and then what you do is you put Torrey Craig as like a roller, right? Just in case they double Ayton and he gets a clear like pathway to the basket. Or you could put TJ Warren out in the 3-point line just to get a defender out there. Who's gonna stop that? Like, KD is shooting 45%. Devin Booker shooting 46%. And even a guy like Torrey Craig, he shot 55% from 3. Yeah, he only took 18 shots, but he made 10 of them. And those were all probably wide open. If you actually watch the series, something that you realize is that Chris Paul was actually extremely effective, even though he barely scored, right? Like, he was as effective as can be when you have guys who are so ball dominant. And also, something is that they're all playmakers. Like, Ayton is given one role: score, rebound, shot block, make it hard for people, right? And for opposing big men. But he still dropped 16 and 11. He wasn't even the guy averaging Chris Paul was averaging more blocks than DeAndre Ayton. Like, that is insane. The Clippers, on the other hand, looked weak. Like, Kawhi was the franchise guy that he should have been, but he tore his meniscus. So really now, where does that put the Clippers, right? Like, they got eliminated. Are they running it back next season, or are they going to restart their entire team? Because honestly, you've had this core now for what, 4 years, ever since 2020, 2019, no, 2020. So 2020, 21, 22, and now 23. That's 4 years that you've had to make this work. And the only thing that they've shown you is consistent injuries, playoff deficiencies. And what I mean by that is that they don't end up working in the playoffs, right, when everyone is not on the floor. And also that on the regular season, this team is not motivated enough to win 60 games, even if they can, because they have to load manage so much. And Ty Lue allows this behavior. Russell Westbrook played great. He averaged 24, 7, and 7. He shot 35% from 3 and 40% from the field. But if you actually looked at the games, then you would realize that this was more of a of a type of performance where he was just dogging the other team. Like he was grinding the team. He had, of course, he's Russell Westbrook. He's gonna have games and times where he shoots horribly, and that's just the reality of it. But he played great. Another guy who played great was Norman Powell, who actually surprised me how much better he became when it came postseason time. Like he originally, right, averages what 17 on 48% from the field, 40% from three, and 80% from the free throw line. That's cool and all, but like when it got playoff time, he jumped up 5 points and he averaged 22 with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. So, meanwhile, keeping 47% from the field and 40% from three. I think he was insane, and if you actually watch the games, and you could tell that he was one of those guys who puts them in a rhythm, and if they could, like him and Russell Westbrook, know how to put guys in the rhythms, and the team in a rhythm. A guy who I also thought was pretty good was Terrence Mann. Like honestly, him this season has been very overshadowed, and they've been saying, "Oh, they don't have a point guard" before they signed Westbrook. But I do believe that he actually made the most of his opportunity, and even though he did not take that many shots, he did come up very, 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 very clutch in this series as in general. I mean, because he had 57% from the field, 47% from three. He was bad at the free throw line, but I believe that a guy who got so little minutes, like in his entire fucking so little minutes in the regular season, and who didn't really get to shine, right, as he was benched for most of it, and he was always looked at as like a throwaway point guard, and even his nickname is Stat Stuffer. I do believe that he made the most of his opportunity. But really, this all comes down to Kawhi. Kawhi averaged 34, 6, and 6 with 2 steals on 54% from the field. Basically 55% from the field, 60% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line. What the fuck are you talking about? He went stupid, but the problem is that he played 2 games, and this is just Kawhi Leonard's story. Like, it doesn't matter how much he tries or how good he is, he will always be overshadowed by the fact that he cannot play that many games. In the playoffs, you actually get rest times. That's how a team like the Miami Heat gets so many reps in, because Jimmy gets to take 2-3 days off, right? Depending on what their schedule looks like and what the NBA is advertising. Not 3 days, but they get 2 days off. And if they advance from another round, then they get a lot of time off. Like the Sixers have been chilling at home for like a week now. But these motherfuckers just decided to win one game, shit the bed the next one, and then just let the series go because Kawhi couldn't play. I want to give some shout outs to Ivica Zubac, because even though, yeah, you did shoot very little, and honestly, it looks bad that you average under 10 points and under 10 rebounds. I do want to say that he was not getting the ball as much as the guards. Like those top 5 guys, which were Eric Gordon, Terrence Mann, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, and Russell Westbrook, respectively, were averaging and they all started except Terrence Mann. So the guys who started were averaging together a total of 85 points just by themselves. So Ivica Zubac really didn't have a bunch of a role in the offense. And some underrated guys to keep an eye out on. I feel like Josh Okogie, he looked nervous sometimes and he shot badly, but I do believe that he might step it up next round. And Bismack Biyombo, Like, he shot really fucking efficiently for the fact that the other team had an actual good center. Now, of course, that goes, and I'm saying this when he played 55 minutes, right? And Devin Booker played 200, so he probably played in most of the garbage times, and that was it. But I do believe that even if you are playing in garbage time, making the best of the opportunity, you know. So yeah, I do believe that this series was interesting for the first two games, and then it just became like, oh, Kawhi's not playing, then what the fuck are we gonna do? But I do want to say shout out to Russell Westbrook for actually being clutch and reviving his career, and he's actually gonna get another probably decently sized contract after this performance. Shout out to Devin Booker for playing like a god. Shout out to Kevin Durant, especially for being able to drop just like a hyper efficient points and being able to make and play defense at the same time. And also DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul for just being consistent. I think the Suns may win the championship. Not if they keep this going, because I think this is not sustainable, but if they just like keep half of what they did in this series, where most of the games were like close by 5 points, I do believe that they could win the championship, honestly.